We've all had those moments when we can't help but think, is this a coincidence, or is someone or something guiding me? Perhaps you kept seeing the same number sequence everywhere and felt drawn to look into its meaning. Or maybe you thought of someone you hadn't seen in years, only to bump into them unexpectedly. These puzzling instances seem to defy the laws of probability, making us wonder, am I missing something here? Welcome back, everyone. Today we dive into the captivating world of synchronicity, those mysterious coincidences that seem to have a deeper meaning and significance. But what are they, and why did they happen? Let's find out. Have you ever experienced a strange coincidence that left you questioning whether it was mere chance or something more? If so, you're not alone. Throughout history, mystics, philosophers, and scientists have pondered the nature of these uncanny occurrences. In this video, we explore the fascinating concept of synchronicity, delving into its meaning, origin, and broader implications for understanding our place in the universe. In 1920, Carl Jung began collaborating with the physicist Wolfgang Pauli, who was interested in understanding the behavior of subatomic particles. Pauli noted that certain events seemed to occur too frequently to be merely accidental. For example, he had been thinking about the possibility of a fifth force in nature, and then suddenly heard about a recent experiment that had shown evidence for such a force. Intrigued by these patterns, Pauli and Jung began discussing the idea of a causal connecting principle that could explain these seemingly meaningful coincidences. They named this synchronicity. The term synchronicity is derived from the Greek words synchronos, meaning together, and kairos, meaning time. It refers to a concept that was first proposed by the Swiss psychologist Carl Jung as an alternative to causality, the traditional understanding of cause and effect. Jung believed that synchronicity was an inherent property of reality that connected events that were meaningfully related, but not causally. In his work, Jung explored the idea that the human psyche could perceive and interpret these meaningful coincidences as signs or messages from the unconscious mind. He suggested that these synchronic events could provide valuable insights and guidance in navigating life's challenges, especially in situations where rational analysis was insufficient or ineffective. Jung developed the idea of synchronicity through his observations of his patients during therapy sessions. He noticed that certain events in their lives seemed to occur in relation to their thoughts, feelings, and dreams, even if there was no apparent causal connection. For example, a patient might express a fear of losing a loved one and then coincidentally receive news of their death around the same time. Jung interpreted these events as synchronic occurrences that reflected the patient's unconscious concerns and anxieties. He further elaborated on the concept of synchronicity in his book, Psychology of the Unconscious, published in 1912, where he described it as a causal connecting principle that linked together events that were meaningfully related. According to Jung, synchronicity was a fundamental property of reality that operated independently of the laws of causality. It was a way of understanding the interconnectedness of events that transcended the limitations of linear cause and effect thinking. He believed that synchronicity was closely linked to the concept of the collective unconscious, a shared reservoir of universal symbols, myths, and archetypes that Jung saw as a part of the human psyche. Through synchronicity, individuals could tap into the wisdom and guidance of the collective unconscious, gaining insights into their own personal journeys and the mysteries of the universe. Jung also explored the symbolic dimension of reality, arguing that synchronicity revealed a deeper, more meaningful order beneath the surface of everyday experience. He suggested that synchronicity could be perceived through the interpretation of dreams, fantasies, and other unconscious manifestations, which provided a bridge between the rational and the irrational, the conscious and the unconscious. One of the most famous examples of synchronicity that Jung used to illustrate his concept was the case of a patient who dreamed of a tower. The following day, she read a newspaper article about a woman who had fallen from a tower and died. At first, Jung's patient was shocked and frightened by the coincidence. But through further exploration and therapy, she came to realize that the dream symbolized her own feelings of anxiety and instability in her waking life. In this example, Jung interpreted the dream as a manifestation of the patient's unconscious thoughts and emotions, while the newspaper article served as a synchronistic event that brought these inner conflicts into conscious awareness. Another core concept in Jung's theory of synchronicity is the idea of archetypes. These are universal, inborn patterns of thought and behavior that reside in the collective unconscious. Archetypes represent the shared experiences and psychological structures that are common to all humans, such as the hero, the mother, or the trickster. Synchronicity can bring these archetypal patterns to the forefront of consciousness, influencing an individual's perceptions and interactions with the world. For example, encountering a wise old man could trigger the archetype of the sage, evoking feelings of reverence, wisdom, and guidance. By recognizing and understanding these archetypal figures that appear through synchronicity, individuals can gain insight into their own psyches and navigate the complexities of human experience. Overall, Jung's theory of synchronicity offers a rich and complex understanding of the human psyche and its relationship to the world. By exploring the concepts of synchronicity, archetypes, and the collective unconscious, Jung invites us to consider the deeper meanings and connections that may lie beneath the surface of everyday experience. While Jung's theory has been influential in various fields, including psychology, New Age spirituality, and quantum mysticism, it has also been met with criticism. Some argue that synchronicity is a subjective and unverifiable phenomenon that cannot be adequately tested or explained scientifically. Others contend that Jung's ideas are too vague and open-ended, lacking the precision and clarity required for rigorous academic study. Despite these criticisms, Jung's concept of synchronicity continues to resonate with many people, who find it a helpful way of understanding the mysteries of the human psyche and the complexities of the universe. As we wrap up our discussion on synchronicity, let's take a moment to reflect on its broader implications for understanding our place in the universe. If synchronicity is an inherent property of reality, as Jung suggested, then it suggests that there is a deeper, more meaningful order underlying the surface of everyday experience. It invites us to consider that the events of our lives are not merely the result of random chance or external circumstances, but are deeply connected to our inner thoughts, feelings, and motivations. Moreover, the concept of synchronicity can help us to cultivate a sense of wonder and curiosity about the world around us. By recognizing the potential for hidden meanings and connections, we can approach everyday occurrences with a more open and receptive mindset, allowing ourselves to be guided by the wisdom and insights that may be revealed through synchronicity. On the other hand, if synchronicity is merely a reflection of our own psyche, as some critics have argued, then it raises questions about the nature of reality and the limits of human knowledge. If our perceptions are shaped by our own internal states and biases, then it becomes difficult to know whether we are truly experiencing an objective, external world, or merely constructing it in our own minds. Ultimately, the question of whether synchronicity reveals an unseen order in the universe, or whether it is simply our psyche projecting meaning onto chaos, is a deeply philosophical one that each individual must grapple with for themselves. Jung's concept of synchronicity has had a profound influence on various fields, including psychology, New Age spirituality, quantum mysticism, and storytelling. In psychology, synchronicity has inspired various approaches to understanding the human psyche, particularly in areas such as dream analysis, myth, and symbol interpretation, and the exploration of altered states of consciousness. New Age spiritual movements have embraced synchronicity as a way of understanding the interconnectedness of all things and the role of intuition and synchronicity in personal growth and transformation. Quantum mysticism, which explores the alleged spiritual implications of quantum mechanics, often incorporates synchronicity as a manifestation of the observer effect or the collapse of the wave function. Storytellers and writers have also been influenced by Jung's concept of synchronicity, using it to create narratives that emphasize the importance of dreams, intuition, and the symbolic meaning of events. However, synchronicity has also faced criticism from various quarters. Some psychologists and scientists argue that synchronicity is a subjective and unverifiable phenomenon that cannot be adequately tested or explained scientifically. Others contend that Jung's ideas are too vague and open-ended, lacking the precision and clarity required for rigorous academic study. Nevertheless, despite the criticisms, synchronicity continues to capture the imagination of many people who find it a compelling and insightful way of understanding the mysteries of the human psyche and the complexities of the universe. So, have you ever experienced synchronicity in your own life? Do you believe that there are deeper connections and meanings in the events of our lives? Or do you see them as mere chance occurrences? Share your thoughts and experiences below. We would love to hear from you. And if you enjoyed this video, do not forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with others who might be interested in this fascinating topic. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.